What's going on? Zach Adelstein here with Daily Edge Sports, bringing you another college football video. Today, going over the PrizePick slate for Saturday, October 25th, 2025. Nice slate here. Talked about it in a couple other videos. Some really big games here. Really nice spots. Still waiting for PrizePicks. They've been kind of slow in putting out fantasy scores. Um, just really have the quarterbacks and a few other plays here right now. So looking for those to start dropping. Looks like they just dropped a few more. Going to be putting out some slips with those in our Discord, putting out other slips as well, and put together a nice floor man here. Get a 10x up and going. Maybe a little bit more depending on what we really like. But yeah, before we get into it, let's talk about Daily Edge Sports. Uh, Daily Edge Sports will bring you all of your DFS needs and your pick'em needs, prop needs, everything you need. Have some nice tools in there, especially Prize Picks. That Demon and Goblins tool is really going to help you. NBA is here, and it goes off in NBA. Regularly gets you, 9, 10 of those top 10 picks just go off. Hitting at a really high rate gets you a nice pair for any other props that you really like here on Prize Picks. And yeah, I'm really excited to get into the NBA season. World Series is tonight. Have some things up for that, and it's football season. It's the best time of year. So yeah, let's get going on this slate. Going to go over to start to one of the last games of the evening. Going to go over to where are we going? Receiving yards. Let's just scroll down. You can see all those nice props they have. I'm going to go to the very last pick here. Going to look at Dallin Bentley, tight end for Utah. We know that Utah loves their tight ends. Bentley leads the team in targets on the year with 35 and has 15 in the last two games. He's gone, second on the team in targets, receptions, and receiving yards. He has gone over this line. Let's get there. There we go. Gone over this line in 4 or 5 games, and he's facing a Colorado team that's given up at least 46 receiving yards to tight ends. 3 straight games. They're averaging over 70 yards in those games. It's not a good Colorado team. We know that. Bentley has a nice ADOT, just under 10 yards, and he's getting 5 to 6 targets a game. I just really like this spot against Colorado at home. Nice late game hammer. And you can just look at those lines. He goes well over this when he goes over it. Especially against Big 12 teams. 75 against Tech. Against Arizona State, he kind of struggled a little bit. That was that wet game, had some wind. But they are favored here by 13.5 points. And I think it should only take 3, maybe 4 receptions by Bentley to get over this line. And yeah, really like this tight end out of Utah, Dallin Bentley. Moving on to another late game. Don't have to move very far. Going to look here at Houston traveling to Arizona State. Here we go. And late game here on another late game on Saturday night. Arizona State's favored by 7.5 points here. Thomas really broke out after the bye week in that Oregon State close game. And since then has gone over this line 4 straight games. He's getting a lot more targets now, regularly getting 8 to 9 targets, averaging 7.5 targets a game and 100 yards receiving in those games. But yeah, Houston's more than a touchdown road dog here. The situation puts it they're going to have to air the ball out. Thomas is the guy that's been getting those lately. We know they're tight end. Just go over one. We have, how they do that now. Tanner Koziel gets some targets as well, but Amari Thomas has just really been doing well lately. Arizona State does have a good pass defense, but Houston, when they throw it, they don't spread the volume around very much. And Amari Thomas at 51.5 receiving yards is a really nice spot here. Another fun game here, another spot that I really like. Let's get back to the top. Benjamin Brahmer, Iowa State is playing at home against BYU. This is actually they're unranked and they're playing BYU, who is, I believe, 11th now. They're up there. And but Iowa State is favored here. Iowa State's at home, favored by 2.5 points. 49.5 point total here. Brahmer's the one that leads Iowa State with 35 targets on the year and gotten a ton in the past couple games. Another tight end, obviously. BYU is very good against tight ends, but they've kind of given up a lot in the past couple weeks. 10 receptions the last 2 weeks, including 7 last week against Utah. When Iowa State likes to throw the ball, they like to throw it to their tight ends. They've done that for a while as well. We know that's what they like. Brummer sitting here. I like that receiving line at 29.5. But 2.5 receptions to get you some extra big here, some extra juice is really nice. Doesn't really, it's not showing up here. Uh, we still get that 30 yards, which is interesting because they were giving you some juice earlier, so they might have taken that back down. But 2.5 receptions is a really good spot for Bomber. You can see what he's done. Kind of struggled a little bit against Arizona State and Arizona, gone over it the past 2 weeks. He's getting good targets. This is a good spot for him. Um, I don't mind if you want to take this receiving prop as well, but they do kind of go underneath to him a decent amount. So I really like this 2.5 receptions for Benjamin Brommer. I think it should be closer to a 3.5 line. So I think he should get 4 to 5 receptions here. Last place I'm going to go is kind of a weird place. We're going to go over to Stanford, who is a huge underdog to Miami. They're traveling to Miami, where they're a 4 touchdown underdog, 28.5 points. They're going to have to throw the ball to even like sniff the stadium, to even stay there a little bit. Last week they lost Ben Gulbranson, their quarterback, who's not great, but has been feasible this year, and lost him, and he only played about half the snaps. Only threw it about 25 times in that Florida State win last week. And now they have this. TJ Williams is who they love to throw it to. He has he has at least 9 targets in 3 of those last 4 games. Only had 5 last week in that game where they didn't throw it very much against Florida State, and they still came out with a win. But Gilbrandt's probable here, and they're going to throw it within 35 times here. They should throw it 35 to 40 times in this game. They've done it before this year. They like to air it out. And yeah, Miami has been a good pass defense, but they're by no means unstoppable. They've given up at least 248 passing yards in 3 of their last 4 games. PFF has them ranked 35th in coverage. So again, good but not great. Yeah, I think that Stanford can try to keep the ball away from them. It's not going to work. They're going to have to throw the ball, and they're going to throw it to CJ Williams. You can kind of look around at some of these other lines. I wouldn't go under. I do, just if they're going to be moving, they're going to be able to move the ball or they're not. I don't hate some of these alt lines. Just kind of looking at his line. It goes up to what we got 69 there, 69.5. He's gone over that, gone over 100 yards in 3 of his last 4 games. Had 61 against Florida State. If they throw the ball here a ton, you can kind of see, um, what they're doing here. And you do get a little bump here if you're looking at it with that Benjamin Brommer play, which is nice. But you take out CJ Williams, you put in that really high bump, you get a huge bump here if you wanted to ladder this up a little bit. But yeah, looking at it for this line, for the purpose here, we're going to go at 41.5 receiving yards, get you a nice 11.5 X here, which is really nice. And yeah, this is the slit for PrizePicks today. Got Dallin Bentley over 39.5 receiving yards, Amari Thomas over 51.5 receiving yards, Benjamin Brommer over 2.5 receptions, CJ Williams over 41.5 receiving yards. Gonna keep an eye out for some fantasy scores to drop. Gonna have everything going tomorrow morning, get some more lines out, see what we have as far as some promo plays. But yeah, hope y'all have a great weekend. Check out the other videos and get into Daily Edge Sports. Start winning. See y'all soon. Peace.